This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. It is Follow the Money on a Football Friday on VSiN, the sports betting network, live in downtown Las Vegas. Circa Resort and Casino is the spot. Great lineup of guests today. Chuck Edel in 30 minutes. The Iceman, a couple of best bets from him. He is one of the co-leaders in the Circa Friday Football Invitational, which you can hear after us a little bit later on tonight. 5-2 last week. Mike Samich on the program in an hour. Best bets in the NFL. And a massive fight in Las Vegas this weekend. Canelo against Crawford. Raheem Palmer, will examine it with him in 90 minutes. Hopefully get a best bet on the boxing match as well. And we're going to take our time going through the entire NFL card today. Sprinkle in some college football as well. How you doing today, Paulie?
All right. Packer fever. Catch it. Come on. This defense is nasty.
You want to double down in your comment from earlier in the week?
Yep. NFC goes through Lambeau.
Have you added any bets based on that?
I got a good ticket before before the Parsons trade. I added more division, and I have NFC and Super Bowl as well.
Down to 6-1, basically, to win the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Which is absolutely bonkers how fast this has happened. Uh-huh. And Jordan Love is now around that same number to win the MVP.
Now, that's crazy.
Well, he was really good last night, though.
He was, yes, but he lost some. He's got a ton of injuries. But that's too aggressive. And 3-1 to win the NFC. Now minus 160 to win the division. I had to take more of that division. Take some more of that. I'm not there with McCarthy yet, even though he looked great. But I still think it's all about this defense and what they did. I love what Parsons said after the game. You give us 20 points, we should win. I love that quote.
That's a strong quote, but I can see it. Right?
Detroit, 33 points per game last year. Held to 6 till the garbage touchdown on 4th down when Green Bay was going soft. Washington, 28.5 points per game last year. 10 points till garbage time.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is they almost covered the game last night. Imagine they make those 2 field goals, or if they actually put together a garbage time drive last night. They had no business being in that game.
No, LaFleur was right. Packers left a lot of points out there. They should have been a bigger lead, yes.
The entire game throughout should have been like a 3 to 4 touchdown game for Green Bay.
Yeah.
They absolutely dominated that team, and here you are with Washington with the ball in their hands, and if they go down and drive and score, whammo, that's a backdoor cover, and oh, by the way, it goes over as well. So it was the worst start by Jaden Daniels in his very short NFL career. Numbers don't lie. Yards per play, explosive play rate, success rate, EPA per play, all the worst by a game-by-game basis in his career so far. So why has Green Bay been able to do this? I'm watching the game last night in real time, and I haven't had a chance to watch the all 22 or break it down from the coach's view yet. I want to go back and watch this game though this week. He would take off, Paulie. As I talked about yesterday, I thought that he would have some running lanes.
Yeah.
It's almost like Green Bay had 2 spies on him because there was a guy in the middle of the field, and then if he wanted to go right, there was another guy. And I'm like, well, wait a second here. He has nowhere to run because multiple guys are watching him. And yet he was incapable of finding anybody who was open last night. You can't play. That's basically playing 9 on 10 then if you're the defense. If you're going to have 2 guys, and I saw it in real time last night multiple times on the quarterback when he might take off, by default, you're going to be able to have somebody open, you would think, on the field. And he was just completely confused last night and incapable of basically having a decent performance whatsoever, and that was the game plan by the Green Bay DC and their personnel, which now Micah Parsons just, this is like Khalil Mack, his first year with the Bears. He made everybody on that defense better. Mm-hmm. And that is 2 games in, it appears that Micah Parsons is having the same impact.
I love how he's so aggressive and he's sending pressure and there's nothing you can do. And I thought Richard Sherman was out of line. Well, McLaurin makes a lot of money. He's got to be that guy to open on 3rd down. I got no time to throw. They have an excellent job defensively.
Yep.
And Daniels has no time to throw, and it's a beautiful game plan, and guys aren't open. I mean, the one guy he did find a lot was Ertz, but look what Debo did. He had 7 catches for 40 yards.
I know.
That's nuts. So they just did an excellent job defensively. They're so fun to watch, and this is what we wanted. We're talking on the pregame show. because the hype train was going crazy after what they did to Detroit. But now they do this again with the hotshot coordinator and offense and quarterback that averaged almost 30 a game, and they shut them down again. Now, 4 of the next 5 are on the road. So it's a tough schedule coming up. But still, this team is the real deal. And but you had the tough break, though, as well with Reed. 2 months with the collarbone.
That's no good.
No.
He's one of their best weapons. This is a good tweet from Benjamin Solak. A little bit more here on Daniels and the Commanders' offense. They had 2 explosive plays on 65 total plays for a 3.1% play rate. That would have been the lowest explosive play rate in a single game all of last season. That's what we're talking about now. In both games this season, the Packers have notched 4+ sacks, allowed 60 rushing yards or less, allowed 200 net passing yards or less. No other team in the Super Bowl era has done that in each of the first 2 games to begin a season. That is courtesy of OptaStats. So then what's the takeaway here? 2 games that we can tie into this weekend. What do we do with the Lions now against the Bears? Does the offense pop this week because the Green Bay defense is this good? And McCarthy, it was going to take him a long time to warm up, maybe for the Vikings on Monday night against the Bears defense, but what's he got rolling?
I don't know. Johnson's back. Maybe Detroit's just broken. We'll see. You get Johnson back for the Bears, that'll be a good test. I'm not ready to say that. I would think they bounce back, but I don't know if what it's going to look like last year. I can't say that.
And then the other one is, okay, so the Commanders, again, they outgained New York by, 200 yards last week? Mm-hmm. And the Giants' offense looked terrible?
Yeah, right.
So Dak absolutely owns this Giants team.
Well, the other, how many guys are wide open? Kraft is wide open.
Oh, the entire game?
Yes.
Here you go, whatever you want.
Deep passes wide open. Underneath stuff wide open.
Sure.
They missed some throws, too. You had the injury. I mean, the plays were there all day for the passing attack, but we said they were going to sell out to stop the run, and it came back to bite them. They contained Jacobs, but everything down the field was easy pickings for these guys.
Here's what I've been saying, by the way, and, for like a good, probably 2/3 of his career already. Once Jordan Love started to play well in his rookie season, like the halfway mark 2 years ago, and especially last year, I like watching the Green Bay offense because he's not afraid to take shots down the field. Mm-hmm. I mean, and again, that sucks now that Reed's out, but that's football, and it's going to happen to almost every team in the league where you're going to lose like a key part at some point this year. But he looks to throw a bomb a lot, and he's not afraid to let it launch. I like watching that quite a bit. And again, if you're gonna not cover Kraft, he's all of a sudden a new weapon who, Reed's going to be missed, but another guy like Kraft could, make it.
Yeah,
not as much as we think here.
He's good. Still waiting for the coming out party with Golden too. But you're going to get Watson back, and they get a ton of weapons, no doubt about it. What happened to Dan Quinn? We were kicking 55-yard field goals now?
Well, not only him, but also Kingsbury, the play calling. Paul, there was a spot, 3rd and 5 in the first half, where they threw it deep, and then they settled for a field goal attempt. Guys, what are you doing? You were automatic on 4th down last year, and you settled for, I think it was at the time, a 51-yard field goal attempt, and you threw it deep on 3rd and 5? What the hell was that?
Yep.
And then that play call later on, I think it was in the second quarter, where Daniels had to throw it like back across his body on like another. What are we watching here? It was horrific play calling last night by Kingsbury.
Why are they so slow?
And I agree with you. Yeah, they were.
They're taking their time.
4 seconds, I think, slower than in week 1.
Mm-hmm.
So all this talk about the no huddle, and they're gonna, the tempo is gonna be fast. And oh, by the way, I was duped by the Deebo Samuel stuff yesterday. No semblance of a running game, and he was never even considered. Mm-hmm. I don't even know if he was in the backfield once last night. Mm-hmm. Very bothersome. But the reason why I brought that up, where you can tie it in these other 2 games, think about how bad the Giants were last week. Dak's on a 13-game winning streak against that team. If he wins, it would stand as the second longest winning streak against one team in NFL history. Bob Greasy defeated Buffalo 17 straight times. Brady defeated Buffalo 13 straight times. Right now, Dak is tied with Brady's second most all time.
That's incredible. And they beat him 15 out of 16. The one loss was Andy Dalton in there. So total ownage here. But that does not bode well for the Giants when you look at that game coming up on Sunday potentially.
How about this tweet from Bobby Belt? The last time Dak lost to the Giants, Barack Obama was the president. Game of Thrones had 2 seasons left. Huh. Patrick Mahomes was still at Texas Tech. The Astros hadn't won a playoff series in more than a decade.
Mm-hmm.
Cooper Flagg was 9 years old. Dabo Swinney did not have a title. I can't believe it's been that long.
Yeah. I think Lamb has a big game based off the drops and what he did or failed to do against the Eagles. And I think Wilson's going to have a tough time moving the ball. But I do like this, that it should be our guy, Cam, hopefully. A lot of stop catching the ball out of the backfield.
I hope so.
Because you look at what Dallas played last year and week one, that it should be a lot of dump-offs. But the guy was only on the field for 8 plays. Now plus 350 to score a touchdown now. You just don't know what these coaches are going to do.
Good point.
And how they treat rookies. But Cam should have a good game for us, hopefully.
Sky is falling, potentially, in so many NFL cities across the country after this week. One of them is going to be that Detroit team. If they don't pop, look good, and they got to come out with a win. Otherwise, people are going to just be like, "Oh my God, it's over." And not only over this year, people are going to say the Super Bowl window is over.
Well, everyone knows that 10-0 ATS off a loss. See if they bounce back.
That's pretty good.
And it's a big game for Caleb Williams. He's got to be able to move the ball here, and the 29% off target rate in the Monday night game. So he has to bounce back too.
Yep.
And have a better second half. How about Miami? They had a players-only meeting.
After week one?
Make sure we're on the same page was the quote. How do you get off page? What does that mean? Oh,
if ever a team has had quit written all over it, it could be them.
Yeah, that's a very important first half. VSON Pro delivers real-time DraftKings and Circa betting splits. See where the public and sharps are putting their money. The morning email from Bill 80. Every pick, every host, every guest. 24/7 video, $9.99. Jump in now, vsin.com/subscribe. You'll love the website.
Up next, a huge divisional dog this weekend has actually won or lost a one-score game 5 out of their last 7 meetings.
If you're serious about football betting, VSiN's got your weekend game plan. Fridays at 7 p.m., it's the Circa Friday Football Invitational. Saturday morning, VSiN's College Football Tailgate show at 9 a.m., breaking down matchups, props, and big-time bets. Later that night, join the Football Contest show as the sharpest betting minds give you their picks for Sunday's game. And Sunday at 9 a.m., lock in with Mitch and Paulie on VSiN's Pro Football Tailgate show. Your final stop before kickoff. Check out the full lineup at VSiN.com and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
So, Paulie, have you had a chance to read the VSON Daily yet?
Yeah, came in at 3 a.m. What's Bill doing up that late?
Well, rumor has it, it starts off with a 12-hour meditation session.
Then he just pours himself over film and live TV, really focusing and taking it all in. Bill's in with the biggest insiders, talking trade secrets, strategies, the whole nine, absorbing the info.
And then and only then can the writing process begin.
In Las Vegas, Bill's late night becomes your early morning. Wake up to the very latest betting insights in your inbox with the VSON Daily. Sign up for free at vsin.com/newsletter.
On the next A Numbers Game, it is Monday. You know what that means during the NFL season. Guessing lines, a tradition unlike any other. The object of this exercise is try to extract value from the upcoming week's NFL lines. I have not seen them. We recap last week's games. We analyze the upcoming matchups. I guess Kelly tells me what the real line is, and we try to find the value within. Interactive guessing lines on Mondays. A Numbers Game right here at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Welcome back. Thanks for watching today on YouTube TV, listening on Sirius XM channel 158, or any of the great affiliates we have from coast to coast. Chuck Edel coming up, by the way, Paulie, in 15 minutes. Some best bets from him. He is the reigning champ in the Friday Football Invitational and the co-leader for this year at 5-2 last week. Okay, I know where you're going to go in this game, and I totally agree. But we can talk about all these matchups, side total, props, ladders, survivor. Seahawks are playing at the Steelers. This total has now come down, I think rightfully so. And the Seahawks are catching 3 in this game at Pittsburgh, traveling from the West Coast to the East Coast. And the total now down some spots to 39.5, but you can still find some 40s. In fact, DraftKings still at 40.5 in this game. I think the Seattle defense is going to be really good this year. And I think they're going to have an impact and make it difficult for almost all of their opponents. Now, they were outgained big time last week by San Francisco, but you saw, like, if you watch the game, like the ball hawking players that they have and how much talent they have overall. And Mike McDonald, obviously, is a defensive coach, and how much of that was actually real from Pittsburgh last week, right? A high-scoring game with the Jets. The lowest total on the board was the second. It produced the second most points out of any game last weekend, Paulie. I don't think that's going to be a thing for Pittsburgh this year. Yeah,
I like the Steelers, and it's not just another game for DK Metcalf. Tomlin, after he gives up 30 points or more, 28-11-1 ATS, 10-1 ATS run. Don't mind the under here as well. I think they get it straightened out defensively. You can ladder Metcalf. I like him over receiving yards, plus 160 to score a touchdown. I love what this offense showed last week against the Jets. I think they'll be able to slow down Darnold. I'm right there again with JSN over, who was great last week, and a beautiful call from Paul Charchian in the summer. How about this guy's going to have a big year and should have 1,000 yards, and I think he'll do that as well. And then, all tickets cash the same, our guy Boswell.
Here you go.
Longest made field goal in the game, and Boswell over 1.5 made field goals. From 60, no problem. From 56, no problem. Outside, net, right down the middle, no problem. Love Boswell. So that's where I'm at with this game, and I think the Steelers are going to come out of this 2-0, and I trust Tomlin and everyone to get things straight, and I like the little mutual admiration society thing going on with Rodgers giving all his flowers to Art Smith and said he called a good game, and Art saying Rodgers played well, but certainly can do a better job. So very encouraged with what I saw in the first game and what they did offensively. Yes, the fumble was huge for the Steelers as well. Jets giving the ball up and cost Gibson a job. But I think I'm all about the Steelers in this game and about all those props. DK's going to go off, I think, and I think it's going to be a point of emphasis for Rodgers and Smith to get him involved early.
Yeah, I like the under in the game. It's not a consideration for Survivor. And one more thing on JSN, he's as low as 66.5 yards. Now, he's a different receiver than Garrett Wilson, but Garrett Wilson had a great game against his Steelers secondary last week. And JSN had 9 catches on 13 targets a week ago. He's going to get targeted a lot. We know that. Like, he's going to be a volume receiver this year. And it's going to depend on how defense's game plan for him, obviously. I don't know what to do with the running backs after 1 week. Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker are like
what are you doing?
50, I stay away, 50-50 timeshare.
Okay.
So I don't want to touch either one of them.
Boswell's minus 130, by the way. Long field goal. Longest field goal of the game, Pittsburgh.
Have you
Excuse me. Yeah.
Have you seen
three-way.
What's the juice on over 1.5 made?
You got to shop that. It's pretty big at some spots.
Because I noticed when I looked earlier today, the Westgate will put these up, yeah? DraftKings, another spot?
DK, Will Hill, yeah. I think Westgate, too.
Okay.
I'll have to check FanDuel.
Because when I was looking earlier today, I didn't see him anywhere other than DK. But they'll put him up, I'm guessing, today or
put him up,
tomorrow maybe. Browns are playing at the Ravens. This is the game I was talking about before the break. Would you believe the Browns are 4-3 straight up against Baltimore since December 2021? 4-3 straight up. The scores, 24-22, that was a win. They lost 23-20. They won 13-3. They lost 28-3. They won 33-31. They won 29-24. And they lost 35-10. So they've gotten blown out twice in the last 7 matchups. Otherwise, it's a one-score game or a straight-up win by the Browns. Now, Derrick Henry against Buffalo, 18 for 169, 2 touchdowns. Henry against the Browns last year, 11 for 73 and a touchdown, 20 for 138 and 2 touchdowns in the second game. his prop is between 89.5 and 95.5, and then you have the dummy in the Brown secondary saying, yeah, not that difficult to tackle. Good job.
Yep.
The last guy in the league that you want to give bulletin board material to.
Yeah, Delpit. So what happens here? Is he going to go to Fannin again or Njoku? Is it more Fannin or is it back to Njoku after that surprise against Cincinnati? They're both Fannin's plus money to have 40 yards. And Njoku 40 plus is minus 115.
Mm-hmm.
Fannin had a ton of targets in that week 1 game.
He did.
Does he go back to Fannin or go back to the guy he was on the same page with and did so well a couple years ago with Njoku?
Well, how about this now? Fannin's yards prop basically is double what it was last week. It was 19.5. He sailed over that. This week it's 36.5. I think there's an opportunity for both guys to be involved because we've heard this now a lot. They're going to go double tight end, maybe more than any other team in the league. And Fannin is like almost he's almost like a slot receiver that you can play who just happens to be a big-bodied tight end by just his natural position. And last week, Kincaid and Knox were targeted only 6 times by Josh Allen, but they caught all 6 targets. And Kincaid had 4 for 48 and 1 touchdown. I think both guys can do it, but I also don't want to bet like both guys to go over because that can be a double loss right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the Ravens get what they want offensively, and they have to do a better job defensively, which I think they will, and put some heat on Flacco after that embarrassment what everyone watched on Sunday night.
Well, I will say this: if you would think, right, game theory here, Baltimore's going to have a comfortable lead throughout.
Mm-hmm.
That means that the Browns and Joe Flacco and Kevin Stefanski, they're going to be throwing the ball a lot in this game. So maybe the play is just like Flacco completions and attempts over in this spot because that's who they are and what they do anyway. If you go back to his 5-game run from 2023, they threw it all over the yard, and they were throwing it a lot last week as well against Cincinnati. So that's kind of what I expect in this game. Survivor all across the board here with Baltimore. Or are you going to stay away because they're so popular?
No, I'll take the Ravens. I don't trust Kyler Murray. I would say I'd probably throw in a couple Dallas there.
Okay. Any other team under consideration? Or teams that you drew a line through?
You can't. I want to see how many people use the Bills. You can't use the Bills here. Number one, they're on the road. It's a divisional opponent. Plus, they can't stop the run, and they're hello Jets. But the next 2 weeks, they play Miami and they play the Saints at home.
Yeah, you have plenty of other opportunities to use the Bills this year.
Maybe people use the Lions. I don't know.
I think the Lions are going to be popular.
But you're going to see a ton of surprises. Every team was picked last week. Like Derek said, well, you take an underdogs. Okay, if the team wins, then what? Well, you advance, but then what did you really accomplish?
I tell you one team I'm not going to be playing. It's the Rams.
Oh, really?
I'm not playing them on the road.
Oh, they could be popular.
I think they might be. I'm kind of hoping that they are popular.
Tennessee's on a 0-8 ATS run at home. I think that defense will be all over Cam Ward. I think it's a coaching mismatch. I'm all about Puka props here, as he was so good last week. He is 79.5 here at Circa. I just think the Rams are too good here, and the defense will be all over Cam, and it's going to take the kids some time to get acclimated and used to this offense and the speed of the NFL. And not going to put all of it on him, but taking some bad sacks. That was wild. They lost that game last week. 4 takeaways resulted in only 6 Tennessee points, and a lot of times set up in great field position, and still couldn't capitalize.
Let me give you this angle. Yep, sorry.
No, I'm done. Yep, sorry.
Kyren Williams for the Rams, plus 190 to score the Rams' first touchdown of the game. He did it last week, and he scored the Rams' first touchdown 13 times last year. 13 times, including the first 7 times to begin the season. He's plus 190, did it again last week. My one concern here for the Rams offense, Tennessee had 14 pressures on Bo Nix, only 1 sack, 8 hurries overall. And when you look at what Houston did to Matthew Stafford, 17 pressures overall, 11 hurries, 3 sacks. The Rams offensive line is not 100%. And a guy like Jeffrey Simmons, I absolutely love him. And I think the Titans can actually get to Stafford in this game as well.
That'll be the quick stuff, though.
I'm sure it will be.
That.
That's why, like, the Puka thing, even when he got hurt last week, doesn't matter. 11 targets, 10 catches, 130 yards.
Right.
So he'll probably just have a lot of yak in this game and get it out immediately. And
Love
that's
the weapons.
Yeah.
They've covered 5 in a row, too. So I think that line's too low. I think the Rams will cover.
The Rams have covered 5 in a row.
Rams have covered 5 in a row, yes. Yeah, I think they'll get it done again. And the defense was phenomenal against Houston.
Oh, they were really good.
I mean, you saw the issues Houston had. You know, what's Ward going to do? I don't think it's going to go well for him.
But do you think it's worth playing in Survivor? I can't because they have other spots coming up that I want to save them for.
I think there's a Saints in November.
Saints game at home.
Yeah. All right. But if you have a bunch, if you want to get creative and mix and match, that's fine with me.
Let's follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Professional sports bettor Chuck Edel on the program coming up next. We will get some of his best bets for the football weekend here on VSiN.
There's no better time to join VSON Pro. Right now, get started for just $9.99 for your first 30 days or save 50% off with an annual subscription. As a Pro user, you'll get our newly updated NFL betting guide, as well as the college football betting guide, the ultimate playbook packed with expert picks, team previews, and best bets. Plus, you'll unlock exclusive features like real-time betting splits, daily best bets, and full access to the VSON Watch app. Don't miss out. Head to VSON.com/subscribe and join us on the Sports Betting Network. Get your edge this season with VSiN's College Football Betting Guide, exclusive to VSiN Pro subscribers. It's packed with 136 team previews, preseason top 25 rankings, and best bets from our experts. Pro subscribers also get the NFL Betting Guide, daily best bet emails, exclusive splits, and full access to our premium betting tools. Sign up now at VSiN.com/subscribe for just $9.99 for your first 30 days. Or save 50% with an annual Pro subscription and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
It's good to have you on board. Every Friday at this time, we head out to the Progressive Guest Line as professional sports bettor Chuck Edel joins the program, the reigning, the defending champion in the Friday Night Football Invitational here on Circa, at Circa and on VSiN, and he went 5-2. He's one of the co-leaders this week. Nice start, Chuck. Thanks for the time today. How are you?
Great. Thanks for having me.
We've been talking a lot of NFL so far today, and obviously this week. After week one, you get a lot of overreactions. I will raise my hand. I'm certainly guilty of doing that. Got to try to avoid that when you can. Is there a game here on the board that you thought, okay, the matchup, it reeks of like the point spread's too high because of the overreaction to what we saw in week one?
Yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely. And week two is a good week to take advantage. During the season, I think people always make a little bit of a mistake when they look just at last week's game instead of the whole season. And it really happens on week two, looking back at week one, because that's all you have to look at. So there's always some lines you can take advantage of because of overreaction. Sometimes they win, sometimes they lose. But I think in the long run, you'll win on those overreaction type games. And this week, the Giants last week were plus 6 points against Washington. Washington obviously rated much higher than Dallas. Now, some things have happened, between now and then. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, Dallas looked really good against Philadelphia, who really was shorthanded defensively, and it showed up in that game. And so Philadelphia now, Dallas now has got a lot of, they get a lot of credit for maybe, beating Philadelphia on that game, and they had chances to win the game straight up. So now the line now is Giants plus 6. It has moved down to 5.5. But, that to me is an overreaction because the Washington we know is rated much higher than Dallas, the same point spread. And I think the Giants, no question, they did look bad versus Washington. But, this is week two. They'll make some adjustments. I think this is a good matchup for the Giants. I think the Giants defensive line could definitely take advantage of that young offensive line for the Cowboys. And I think the Cowboys will have trouble with the Giants on the defensive line, and their Dallas' secondary is a bit banged up. They got a big injury back there, and I would expect, Russell Wilson, obviously with a bad game week one, heard a lot of boo birds, a lot of media jumping on him. I would expect for him to improve a little bit here on week two, and I'm sure they made some adjustments, and I think plus the points is the right side here.
The Lions were terrible week one. Most people expect them to bounce back. Will you take your Bears if it gets to 7?
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I mean, it's just so hard, with the Bears. Just I know they were banged up in the secondary as well, and that defense got tired, as the game went on, and there was guys wide open obviously all game long, and Williams just failed to hit him, But Bears played Detroit tough last year with with a lot less coaching. So, I mean, that to me, that line looks a little bit high to me. I would only look at the Bears in that game.
All right, very good. A couple games tonight in college football. You're on the total here with Kansas State and Arizona. Currently, it's 54.5. What did you play?
Yeah, I went over in this game. Matt Wells comes over, a new offensive coordinator there for Kansas State. He was the coach at Utah State. He coached at Texas Tech. He likes to play fast. You wouldn't know that if you looked at the stats, because last week, Army held the ball. I mean, Army dominated the Kansas State defensive line. They had the ball in that game for 40.5 minutes. Kansas State only had it for 19.5. So if you look at how many plays they ran and their yardage, it could throw you off there. The time of possession played a big role in that. The first week, the bad weather there in that game in Ireland. So now they're playing an Arizona team whose offense has improved. They hired the offensive coordinator from South Carolina, Dow Lodgins. And the first two games, they're averaging 44 points so far in their first two games. Last year, they only scored 44 points in 2 games all season. Their quarterback, Noah Fist, had 5 touchdown passes last week. They like to throw the ball. They're going to throw the ball as much as run it. And this Kansas State defense has not looked well so far this season. 2 weeks ago, they allowed 35 points to North Dakota. And like I said last week, the Army offensive line dominated the Kansas State on the line of scrimmage. And, Arizona's defense last year gave up over 31 points a game, 6.3 yards per play. So I think it's been a little bit deceiving, and I think this game goes over the total. It's pretty much 54.5.
Very good. Follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, professional sports bettor Chuck Edel, and he is on the progressive guest line. Now, how about this game tomorrow? It's going to start at noon Eastern, but in the Central Time Zone in Chicago between Oregon and Northwestern. That's 11 a.m. But also on top of that, that means it's a 9 a.m. body clock game for the Oregon Ducks, a team that just absolutely throttled Oklahoma State last week, and they had a lot of fun doing so. Now they go on the road here in an early game. They're laying 27.5. Total is around 48.5. What did you do with that?
Yeah, this is probably for a lot of people is going to be a hold your nose game if you follow my play here, because it'll probably scare a few people. But I do like the game under. And you mentioned, last week Oregon's offense was so fired up last week. Every article you read, they talked about what Mike Gundy said about the team. He called out Oregon for buying their players and really ridiculed them. They were so fired up for that game. They were not taking the foot off the gas pedal, and it showed, So this week now, like you said, Mitch, the 9 a.m. or 9 a.m. game, I don't feel like they're going to keep the foot on the pedal in this game. First of all, they had the Civil War next week against Oregon State. The week after, they go at Penn State, which is one of their bigger games of the year. And now they're playing a Northwestern team in front of, maybe they'll have 12,000 people there, because they're Northwestern, they're renovating their stadium. So now they're playing like in a backup field, and it only holds 12,000 people. So they're going to be playing at 9 a.m. in front of 12,000 people. They're not really used to that. And, there's been a lot of talk, too, about the Oregon's offense, but don't count this defense out. They have a top 10 defense. They really have solidified their defense last week. They held that Oklahoma State team to 3 points, 211 yards. Northwestern has a decent defense, but their offense is below sea level. And to make matters worse, they lost one of their best offensive players last week, running back Cam Porter, huge part of that offense. He got injured. He's out for the season now. And, even with him in that first game of the season against Tulane, Northwestern was only able to muster up 237 total yards in that game. So this being a lower scoring game, I don't think Oregon runs it up in this one. And I do like it to go under the total.
Very good. Can you give us a tease tonight, your plays that are going to be on the Friday Football Invitational with Matt Humans following us? Do you know how many college totals you're going to have on your card?
I will have 4 totals, which is the max they let me have. I'll have 4 totals.
Okay.
And might have one NFL game, and then definitely have a couple sides I really like in the college football as well.
Oh, very good. Can't wait to hear your plays for tonight, Chuck. Thanks so much for the time today. Go get them again this weekend. All right.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
He's on X at Chuck Edel. Join us on the Progressive Guest Line. That, as you said last week, Paulie, it's a Chuck Edel rule.
It is.
You can only have 4 totals because he's so good at them.
Like the Edmonton Oilers with Gretzky. Wouldn't stop giving them the power play. Coincidental minors. They're too good.
All right. I like what he said there. This is going to be a hold your nose type of game if you follow me on this one.
Yeah, I can see the case for Northwestern, yeah.
But he's like under 48.5 because Oregon's good enough to score.
Yeah, that's right.
35-40 on their own against anybody. I know he just broke it down there with how good the Northwestern defense has been so far. But Dan Lanning definitely has I saw one set of power ratings that had, from a pro bettor, that had Oregon, I think, 3 points better than every team in the country. Wow, that's pretty strong.
Oh, Moore's been good. They've been excellent. Pretty good test, though. See if they go on the early start and take care of business as a big favorite.
Yeah. Did you bet any of the games tonight?
I did not.
I'm hating myself for not getting down on Houston -4.
Yeah, who knows, though? Deion's playing games with the quarterback situation, so he might play 2-3 guys again. And how long will they be out there? Yeah, that one's tough.
That's, I think this week alone, like the high water mark was Houston 6? I don't think I saw it touch 6.5. And then it was around 4. Now it's at 4.5 and 5, pretty much all over the place. Well, the one bet I'm going to have tonight is definitely tailing Chuck on K-State Arizona over 54.5.
Did they scratch Cease in his base? I was going to bring up his baseball game with you.
I have no idea.
Sears is going for the Padres. The Rockies have played 4 games this year at Petco in San Diego. 0.
Yeah, haven't scored a run.
They've been shut out all 4.
I don't know if I've ever heard of that before in baseball.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Rockies team total under tonight. Actually, I like Cease a little bit better than Sears, but 280 at home tonight against Gordon. All 4 games have been shut out. It's incredible.
Well, I will say this from monitoring pitch counts in the last couple of days. I'm completely... You don't know what the hell these managers are going to do. What Skeens throw the other day? 60-plus pitches?
Shut them down.
The
5 innings, yeah.
The guy that Ballpark Pal was high on last night, Ryan Weathers?
Yeah.
60-plus pitches in 5 innings, get him out of the game? I don't know how long these guys are going to go in some of these meaningless games.
How about the Mariners? Unbelievable.
I know, truly.
Back-to-back nights.
Yep.
Good for them.
Paul's going to recap a lot of the action from last night and win some, lose some. That's coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons. It's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim. It's the only thing like it in the world.
Check out Stormy and JVT on Money Moves, only on VSiN.
And maybe that's why they wouldn't, because they're the Giants and they don't do things that make sense.
Out of all these divisions, this is the one that I am the most curious about because I do think there are positive signs for the Bears.
They'll take you on a fun, fast-paced journey, weaving in everything you need to know to make an educated bet, while also not shying away from the excitement of a same-game parlay sweat. Money Moves, weekdays at 2 p.m. Eastern on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
You heard Charlie Sheen there winning. You can check out the Netflix documentary on him. It's interesting. Wild stuff. First touchdown, Dobbs 14-1. Dobbs touchdown, Packers win, plus 320 here at Circa. Packers win between 8 and 14 points, plus 520. Most receiving yards, Kraft 8-1. 25 yards in both halves, 6-1. That was at Will Hill. Anytime touchdown, plus 215. Ertz anytime, plus 280. Almost had 2. Got it again. No turnover in the game, 8-1. Hard to find, but love that prop too. Cashed Friday night in Brazil. Almost cashed Thursday in the Cowboy game, and should have cashed in the Ravens game. Till Henry put it on the ground.
Yeah.
Good prop.
By the way, Debo got in again last night. He was plus 180 to score. That's now a touchdown in each game for him.
Okay.
Did not get the rush, but they're getting the ball near the end zone, so that's a good thing.
2-point conversion as high as 3-1. Always shop that. The Triple Crown. Love most passing, Kraft receiving, Jacobs rushing, paid 22-1. That's at DraftKings. And both teams to make a 33-yard field goal is 5-0 in prime time so far, as that came in.
And that was with bad kicking last night.
Yeah. WNBA, the Wings, 2-1 on the money line. Catching 6, up 30. That's what was supposed to happen. Teams that had nothing to play for laying down, right?
Right.
But that didn't happen with the Lynx, who had nothing to play for, but went out and spanked Golden State, and now that's who they meet in the first round of the playoffs. Aces bury the Sparks, the 2 seed. 16 wins in a row now for Las Vegas.
So does Wilson do this now? She was named AP Player of the Year today. Does she pull off? She was $9 to win the MVP.
I think that's too high because the Collier 90, 50, 40 is getting out there.
It is.
90 from the line, 50 from the field, 40 from 3.
And I think voters might look at that and say,
yeah,
best team in because I think WNBA voters, I think there are some people who are still upset over what happened a couple of years ago when Alyssa Thompson did not win the MVP when she probably should have. Imagine that. Question marks out there for people who have votes.
Golden State, Minnesota under 154.5 down to 150.5. A pat on the back followed by a kick in the ass. Great job by the NBA to say the half-court heave is now not used against your field goal percentage. So guys will actually shoot the ball now at end of quarters. But this is some incredible stuff from Tim McMahon from ESPN. Devin Booker, last 3 seasons, 0 heaves. Most minutes in the league without a heave. Brunson, 1 is his career. 1. Harden, 1 since he left Brooklyn. Zach LaVine, excellent from 3. 0 in the last 4 years. I would have benched these guys the first time they did it and say, you knock this off right now.
Wait,
if you have a chance to shoot the ball before a quarter and you're not going to do it because you don't want to affect your stats, you're sitting right next to me.
So you like what the NBA did, catering to the players?
I think you need to have that in there, yes.
I think I absolutely hate it.
Okay.
I was disgusted when I saw this rule come across.
Really?
Oh, my God. The pampering for these players is completely out of control. But this is Exhibit A.
I know, but you saw the acting, though, right? Every guy has an acting job.
Of course they do.
They'll look at the clock and pretend like, you lose the ball.
They dribble into a defender. I can't get it around him.
Yeah, right. Look, he's in the way.
Imagine
that.
Imagine you're making $50 million a year, and you think that one shot at the end of the third quarter from 84 feet is going to affect what people think about you.
Incredible.
How spoiled are these people?
Yeah. I can't believe the research he did to find all that out. Devin Booker, 0 in 3 seasons.
That really bothers me. I hate the league.
Subscribe, be part of the team, VSiN.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos. At Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in. We'll put you on. This is excellent. A dog jumping into all the balls.
It's like their own Chuck E. Cheese at the house.
That's right. Well said, right? Goes in his little box, all filled up with balls, and just full of a French bulldog, I believe, full of energy, jumping up. That's his ball pit. He loves it. That is great. I got to get one of those. That is excellent. Get one for Jordan. And how about this? Interesting compilation here. Dogs visiting the zoo. You got the tiger coming up to the glass. Who are you? You got, what's that, a camel or something? Gorilla?
It's going so fast, I have no idea.
There's a bunch of them, yeah. Well, the guy brought his dogs to the zoo, and all the animals are like, hey, can I come over and see what you're up to? And like the animals are fascinated by the dogs.
I didn't know dogs were actually allowed to go to a zoo.
Yeah. Well, you got the vest on them. I think anything goes, right?
Oh, that's right. True.
Incredible compilation. Very good. Here's my Luso. This guy's getting into Bud Selig territory. An all-time bad quote from Adam Silver the other day about fans complaining about how much it costs now for streaming packages because you got to have Amazon and Peacock and everything. Well, you still got the highlights, which are free. It's a highlight leak. What? I'm not going to watch the games. That's. What about my local team? What if I'm a Laker fan? That is an asinine comment.
Of course it is.
Oh, is that all-time bad? You just got a $70 billion package streaming with the TV rights and everything. Well, you got the highlights for free at least.
Do you know that out here in Las Vegas on YouTube TV, even with the package, which I pay for every single year for this league, I can't get Lakers games? Spectrum is not anywhere to be found. And because I don't have Spectrum on YouTube TV, they don't offer it there.
Really?
I can't get the game on the package because it's blacked out.
I can't get Sacramento Kings.
I get them.
Oh, that goes back. Brian Windhorst lives in Nebraska. He can't watch the Denver Nuggets and other teams.
Now, Matt, think about that for a second.
Yeah. Liberty, 9 up to 15. No good. Sky kept it close. NC State, Wake Forest under. 56.5 down to 52.5. I mentioned the Rockies. 4 trips to San Diego, shut out in all 4. How about the Mets? Last night, lost again. This hadn't happened in the modern era. They scored 4 runs in the first inning. They didn't have a guy reach base the rest of the game.
Players only meeting? Much like the Miami Dolphins here, guys.
And 2 vicious beats. This one benefited our buddy Ozzy, TMI Ozzy. Jordan Love under rushing attempts. Goes over with the 2 kneel downs. How about that beat?
He only hit 1 rush. Okay.
He had 1 rush for 14 yards.
And what was the prop?
2.5.
It was 2.5.
Yeah. Kneel down.
Well, how about 2 of the guys I talked about yesterday got sacks?
Okay.
The one guy, Armstrong, was higher than 2-1. That was on that last play where he rolled out, scrambled.
Falling down. Yeah, the falling down.
He had no business getting a sack in the game, but he did.
Right. And the Mariners' first 5. They led 4-0 in the 4th, 4-2 in the 5th. Trout went deep. Angels tied it up. An incredible game. 7-6 and 13. They were down. They tied it. They were down again. They got 2 to walk it off. Back-to-back night. Seattle tied for first. Before the line moves, the sharp play's already there. They don't just follow the market. They help move it. You're not going to outsmart billion-dollar books or full-time sharps on your own. With the sharp plays, you don't have to. Jeff and the crew do a great job and been with Follow the Money since day one. 2011. Documented results, public logs, transparent receipts. Sharpplays.com. Trusted by pros. Watched by the books. Visit sharpplays.com and stay ahead of the line. But that's like saying, don't go to the movie. You can just watch the trailer.
Sure.
Adam Silver.
Right.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Here's a 30-second trailer for you on TikTok. Isn't that good enough for you? How big of a waste of money is this? We have not had a defensive player in the NFL win the MVP since 1986, Lawrence Taylor. I
thought J.J. Watt had a great case here.
So did he.
Go ahead, yeah. What'd you do?
I took pizza money today on Micah Parsons 400-1.
All right. There you go. You're on the team now? You buying the Packer hype? You coming over to my side?
They're very good, but I'm already like all in on the Rams, so I'm not going to add another team.
Uh-huh.
But no, they're very good. Now I missed every good number imaginable on the Packers. So
I think it's just a great marriage between the DC and Parsons and
the fans. How about last night on Amazon after the game?
Thanks, Jerry.
Yeah, and they're clapping like that, and you could just see like he was eating it up the entire time. He loved it.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, it's going to be that's a special spot for him to be.
Oh, he's a beast.
He's very good.
Yep.
So look, I mean, if the season if they played it out 400 different times, all I'm asking, would Micah Parsons be in the mix to win the MVP more than once? If they played it up, because he's 400-1. That's what I bet him at today at Circa. Just get in the mix.
Number 1 defense, 20-some sacks.
Well, I mean,
quarterback doesn't
causes
go crazy.
Fumbles.
A weird year with the league. Yeah. How the hell did Mark Mosley win it? A kicker won it in 1981 or something, 82. How did that happen?
I mean, can you imagine what a kicker would have to do today to win the MVP? They'd have to have like 9 game-winning field goals from 60 yards out.
Yeah, have to be Aubrey or something, or Boswell.
Yeah. Even then, I don't think they would give it to him.
Yeah, probably not.
Honestly, that's all my hope is for. Like, December rolls around, Parsons, 16 sacks, my God, and the narrative is just taking off for that guy. Up next, VSiN host Mike Somich joins the program. We will empty the chamber with his Week 2 best bets in the NFL. He is climbing the ladder, baby, with one of his props. That, some sides that he likes, all coming up next here on VSiN.